We're off to Wellington again to catch up with Yashin and Gerard. The deadline is round the corner and Yashin is off to a week-long conference in Johannesburg. The Nando's team steps in to run through key dates with him again.
Because what's the date next Friday?
15th.
The 15th.
Which means we've really got 10 days, to finish the thing.
Yeah.
So you're leaving. When are you leaving?
This Sunday. It's like in the middle. What a mess.
I'm a little bit concerned about the translucency. I'm not sure if the clay is thin enough, and I haven't worked with the particular clay that Yashin has bought, so that's why I suggested that we actually do some tests.
Okay.
Which I think we should do quite soon, so that we know whether we're going in the right direction or not.
I work best under pressure, but yes, I'm feeling very aware of time.
What exactly is running through your mind now?
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking whether I can convince my business partner to go on the conference for me, so I can get 5 extra days to. And if not, then what can I do this in the next 3 days before I leave that can just maximize the experimentation and the trialing.
In Durban, things have been running smoothly and on track, and the reality of winning HYD 2015 is sinking in.
Where we met last time, we had the tube rolled, got it drilled, got it welded.
Yeah.
We've handed that over. Have you sorted out the bead work? Because that's imperative to your design. It hinges a lot around the beading. There's no real other cheap substitute for that. So where are you on that?
I've worked with AJ before, who's a local, so I really wanted to use him again. He's great in that he gives his opinion too, so he helps resolve small little issues. So I got in contact with him again, and he's did all the beading for me, and we played around, and then he also said that he would do the rest of the design for me, which was the roping, the copper wiring. So he finished that off for me nicely.
So now he's a one-stop shop.
He is, which is great, and which is what I needed.
There's some small things that we can still tweak along the way and make it more production friendly, potentially. Yeah. But other than that, I think you've grown to understand the process of sketch, design, resolution, then the manufacturing, which is like the dirty side of it.
Yeah.
But it's actually the most exciting part of it, because that's where you realize your idea. And I think, kudos to you. You've done well on that journey.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, I've definitely learned so much. As I said, I've never done this before, so it was the first time designing what can you call it, a furniture type piece, like a product.
That's a thing with 4 legs.
Yeah,
generally a chair
or
or
product. So I didn't really know what steps to follow, but obviously with your guidance, and now that we've completed it, I have a much better understanding of the whole process, and now I know what steps to follow the next time. To win this Nando's competition would mean everything. The exposure that we've had so far, just being a finalist, has been awesome. So the exposure to come being a winner would be even better. Part of winning means that we would have to manufacture 100 pendants for Nando's. So that automatically creates a little business on its own. It would be the first time that I would produce a fitting and sort of be a business owner.
We're headed to Milnerton High School, where Tulsha is meeting with a new mentor, Liani Douglas.
A lot has happened since the last time I've seen you. I've really grown in the short space of time because I've had to do a lot of things on my own. Like being exposed to the corporal world was really different for me. It's improved my assertiveness, taught me like that I can't be a softie. I have to say yes and no. Also, it's taught me how important diversity awareness is because I'm working with different age groups all the time.
I was asked to be one of the mentors on the Hot Young Designer competition. I'm the mentor of one of the youngest finalists in the group. Tulsha is still at school, which is super exciting for me, as it's always it's always wonderful giving back to the design community. And I also teach at UCT and in the design studio, and it's so rewarding to be part of that learning processes for young and aspiring designers.
Liani is one half of architecture design duo Douglas & Company that specializes in the design and production of contemporary buildings, spaces and interior products including furniture, lighting and objects.
Working with Tracy was really different because I wasn't expecting such an experienced person. And then being transferred to Liani, I was really excited because I knew that I would get to meet another experienced person and gain more knowledge, and the way that she, in any right, she could.
So I've been asked to come in more just to help with the final details needed, parts needed, especially we discussed being the ceiling plate, the details around that. I've been asked just to guide with that and see if I can source some parts there, and obviously putting everything together, starting with the wiring and finishing off the prototype.
I can't imagine seeing the design the way in which it is now, because just a few months ago I was just designing for fun, and now it's actually something that's going to be used. And with the wise words of the mentors, it's really helped me to gain more of a worldly view on how things should be configured and the way people want it. So, yeah.
Tabisa, who has been forging ahead with the bending and soldering of her Tutu Lights frame and the wood turning of her second design.
So the last time I saw you guys, I just met my mentors, and we'd only then started talking about how the light will actually be made. So it's one thing going from the idea and the actual technical getting down and dirty making the thing is a whole other ball game. Megs, I'm really excited to show you the weaving.
Oh, Tabs, it looks insane. Tell me about the weaving.
Okay, so we decided to do, like we discussed, the peplum will be all like solid, and like really bringing in the cool, fiery, passionate Nando's colors. So what I learned about myself from this process is that I don't take no for an answer, because whenever we go to suppliers and or show them the design rather, the response would be, oh, this is going to be impossible to do, how can we possibly make this? With Megan's help, of course, we really found a way to make the light and have it come out the way I had envisioned it.
Then we joined Tabs and Hjorg at the workshop of One Good Turn, Skalk van Niekerk's family-owned and run business that produces Goed's key timber components.
I take what I call the weird and the wonderful dreams of designers, and they come out with the most amazing designs. And it's my job to make it a reality, and to actually take what is two-dimensional and make it into a three-dimensional reality. It's a great challenge.
What do you think about the process of actually going through it, and what does it feel like to get your product in your hand for the first time?
It feels amazing, and I think what I've learned the most from you is thinking about the design. So how will it actually be made? Because it's one thing sketching something, but it's a whole other thing making it a reality. I would 100% recommend, suggest, encourage any other young designers out there to enter this competition. Not only is it a great learning curve, but it really opens you up to the design industry in South Africa.
All that's left to do now is the important judging process. Stay tuned for the next and final episode where the lights will be revealed in all their vibrancy.